For you that want a nice snack and don't want to put anything real heavy on you, eat that opposed to that ham hock or that piece of fried chicken. Eat that right there and you'll keep the weight down. All right? Okay, we're going to give it back to Aaron. Thank you very much. And we will be talking with you again. All right. There you go, Aaron.
Thank you, Charles. Our next chef is not only a master chef, but an excellent chef. She's originally from Michigan by way of Chicago, and now she's here in Oakland to dazzle us, our palate, with her food. Her name is Yolanda Hendricks. All right.
Oh, sorry. I'm on. Hey, everybody. For everybody that's still here. Am I on?
Yeah, you're on.
I'm on, okay. So, I am Yolanda Hendricks. I cook. That's what I do. More than anything else, I cook. I try to cook. They can't hear me. Okay. Wow. Y'all hear me now? Test, test, test. Test, 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 test. Test one, test. There we go. Awesome. All right. So I'm Yolanda Hendricks, and I have a catering company called Simply Bliss Catering. I do personal chef, and I cook. Like, that's what I do all the time. I love to cook. If you want to cook and come by and cook with me, that's fine. But that's what I like to do, and I'm happy that I can make my living cooking. One thing that I like to do is cook good food, healthy food, and take what the food that we eat every day and put a different spin on it. And still have it taste like the food that you're used to eating every day. So I make sweet potato pies that have no butter, no sugar, no gluten, no dairy. And it'll taste just like the sweet potato pie that you're used to eating. Tonight I'm doing collard green sushi. Just because I have so many friends that want the experience of sushi, but they don't like fish. The first thing we say is I don't eat raw fish, which I can understand. And then when you get there and they don't have something without the raw fish, but the nori, the paper that they wrap the sushi in, still tastes like fish. So what I do is I take the collard greens and wrap my sushi in. And you can do, sushi to me is anything wrapped, rolled up, cut into 6 to 8 pieces and eaten. That's the definition of sushi. You can put whatever you want inside your sushi. Tonight it's all vegan. And what I say is whatever you put in, make sure each component of the sushi tastes really good. So like I took my collard greens, I'll show you right here. And literally I just took it and cut the big vein out, you know? And if you can keep the most of it intact, it's easier to roll that way. Chard works really good, except for chard has that really big rib that goes down the middle, so it's harder to roll. It's easier because it's softer, but it's harder to roll because you cut out that big vein. So with the collards, you just cut out that little vein. I put them in boiling salted water like you do pasta, and let it stay boiling for about 5 minutes. Take it off, run it under cold water or ice water, and it'll stop it from cooking, and it'll keep the color bright green. So start there, but season it. You know, don't just put your collard greens in some water that doesn't have any flavor in it. Make sure you put some salt or some type of love in your water, some garlic powder or something so it has some flavor to it. Next I use short grain rice. You can use brown rice. The thing with sushi is you want the rice to be sticky. So if you use brown rice, in order to get your rice sticky is you have to overcook your brown rice. If you absolutely insist on having brown rice, work it out. I use short grain white rice because I'd rather not have mushy rice and have it still taste good. And then once the rice is cooked, I take a pickling liquid, which is like apple cider vinegar, water, and agave. Bring it to a boil, turn it off, and just sprinkle it in your rice. So your rice is almost like a pickled rice. And then your rice has flavor. And then all my vegetables, I just chop them up really. The peppers and cucumbers I chopped up. I got some pea shoots, which are really good. These are high in fiber, and like if you have kids that don't like vegetables, you can hide those in anything. They won't even know, believe me. and it'll go down really good. And it has good fiber, so you can make sure everything's working well. I did some portobello mushrooms. The portobello mushrooms are literally just salt, pepper, a little olive oil. I put a lid on it and cook it low until they're soft. Flip them over a couple times until they're soft. And then I pickled the beets. I have white beets and I have red beets. And it's the same liquid that I use to make the rice. It's agave, apple cider vinegar, and water. Bring it up to a boil, turn it off, let your beets simmer in it for a little bit, and that's it. Let's see. So that's all the components I have for my sushi. You can mix and match anything you want. When I make them at home, sometimes I make like smothered chicken and shred it off the bone for people that like meat, and put that in, or like salmon croquettes. Instead of making little patties, just fry them into long strips. And that goes in, you got your salmon croquettes, you got rice, and if you really want to get with it, we make eggs at home, and you can put eggs in it and roll it up. So you got greens, you got your breakfast all together in one roll. These are awesome for lunch if you have kids that, if you need to pack a lunch every day. They're easy to make, and this is one of the cheapest dinner parties you can ever have, let me tell you. All the stuff that I have on my table, other than my flowers, all my produce cost me $10. So everything that I have cost me $10, and I fed y'all a couple little pieces. But like at your house, if you get this much stuff and you have 10 people over, everyone's gonna have 10 pieces of sushi and be full. And it's the easiest dinner party you can throw because everybody gets to roll their own and pick and choose whatever they want inside their own roll. And it's a great way for us to get together and eat over good food. Then you can discuss the best way to prepare your food and how you like it. I don't know how that goes. So, here we go. Maybe. Awesome. With rolling the sushi, is I have a sushi mat, but you don't really need a sushi mat. If you use the bigger leaves of the collard green, you can roll it without. So I got one started over here. You're gonna just put a bed of rice down. Don't be cheap with your rice though, because that's what's gonna hold it all together. So you want a nice little amount of rice in the middle, and the thing is, your rice is sticky. So you want to dip your hands in the little water so your rice sticks to everything but your hands. So just dip your hands in water, wet your hands, and then you can roll. And since my leaf is so big, it's like I'm gonna have a seam right in the middle when I roll it. For sushi people, especially Japanese sushi people, that is the biggest no-no in the world. That's when you go from having sushi like someone that knows what they're doing to someone that doesn't. I'm rolling sushi for people I love, and I want it to taste good. I want it to look good, but I want it to taste good more so. So I take that little seam and roll it around. This just makes my roll more secure to me. And tuck it in, and you have a roll, just like that. You can tighten it up. And then what I use my mat for is literally just to tighten the roll. So when you cut it, it won't fall apart. One thing about it too also is you want to have a sharp knife, and you want to use the thinnest knife that you have to cut your sushi with. A fat knife is just going to stick to the rice, and when you pull it through, it's going to fall apart. So the thinnest knife you have and the sharpest knife you have is the best to use to cut your sushi. And then you just cut it in half, and then you cut your pieces. And when it unrolls, you just tuck it back in. And I say, that's how they know it's homemade, And then this sauce that I have is literally tamari, which is a wheat-free soy sauce. So for people who don't know about wheat and gluten, you probably have some issues with it and you don't really know. Tamari is a soy sauce, a wheat-free soy sauce that has the same flavor as soy sauce but doesn't have the wheat. And it works really good. And then I mix sriracha, which is this spicy hot sauce. It has a rooster in the bottle. A green top and a rooster in a bottle, and that's the only way. And if you go down the Asian row at any grocery store, they usually have sriracha. And I cook healthy food. I cook gluten-free, dairy-free, wheat-free food. You don't have to be gluten-free, dairy-free, or wheat-free to eat my food. If you say, I want some fat in my food, I'll hook you up. There's no problem with that, But I'll give it to you in a different way, and you'll be like, oh, this is really good. and then I'll tell you, oh, that's not fried. You know, it is my goal to make the food that we eat every day taste as good as healthy food tastes. Because when people say healthy eating, you automatically be like, I'm good. I don't want a bunch of bland vegetables that somebody didn't even season. You know, it doesn't have to taste bad. You know, you control what you eat. It doesn't have to taste bad. As y'all can see, I like good food. So